welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me on the look that I'm wearing today, and I did film a video not that long ago explaining why I am no longer filming tutorials or get ready with me's, but since I filmed that video I have gotten like a crazy amount of comments and messages from you guys asking me to still film the occasional get ready with me in one way or another. One of the reasons why I stopped filming those videos is because they didn't get a lot of views or interactions, so I figured not a lot of you guys wanted to watch them. But since I have gotten so many requests to film them again, it's not about the views to me. I wanted to film it for those of you that want to watch this video, and I figured people who don't want to watch it just won't click on it, and that's fine with me. So this video is for those of you that have been asking for Get Ready With Me's. It's really just going to be a rambly, chatty video. I talked about a lot of stuff not having to do with makeup, some of it having to do with makeup, so I figured you guys could either turn it on in the morning when you're getting ready or just put me on in the background as background noise. And it's just an easy way for me to show you guys how I like to do my makeup, but also just chat with you guys on more of a personal level. And today I did film this look. It's not looking like perfectly blended out, but that's just how I am. I'm definitely not a makeup artist. I'm just like your typical girl doing her makeup. So I hope this video is just fun for you guys to watch, not too boring, a little bit entertaining. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do want to see more of these, please give it a thumbs up or let me know in the comments below, and I can definitely keep filming them for you guys. Otherwise, let's jump into the video. Okay, so I am going to do my eyes first and then do my face because I am working with darker shadows, so I don't want to get fallout all over my foundation after I do it. So I'm going to start off with the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer to prime my eyes, and then I'm going to go in with the Milani Bella Eyes Gel Powder Eyeshadow in the shade Bella Ivory. I just dropped it and broke it, so I think it's still usable, but I use this shadow every single day to set my eyeshadow primer. And then I'm going to use the Balm Desert, which is a bronzer and blush, but I like to use it as a transition shadow pretty much no matter what look I'm going for. There are very few times when I use a different transition shade. I feel like this one is just beautiful. It is a little bit warmer, but it also goes well with cool toned looks, which is what I'm doing today. So to be honest, I had to film that first part a few times. I feel like I'm so out of the practice of filming for YouTube because I haven't really filmed for probably like 2, maybe 3 weeks at this point. No, I feel like it's probably been more like 2 weeks. Also, when you're filming talk-through videos, it's kind of hard because you can't just start over. You have to, you know, kind of roll with it. And when I film my YouTube videos, I mess up so often, so I constantly have to like repeat myself. I made such a mess when I dropped this shadow, and I was doing so well I even hit pan on it. I'm using the Sedona Lace 305 brush. I feel like at the same time, talk-through videos are really nice because they are a little bit more casual and you can just kind of chat through all of the steps that you're doing, and usually I try to make my videos as concise as possible. I feel like they've been a little bit longer lately, but I personally just like to make them concise. But I feel like talk-through videos are fun because you don't really have to worry about that and you can kind of just talk. This shadow also makes a really beautiful highlight, but I do love using it as a base shadow, even if I'm going in with a darker look, and most of the shadow will be covered up. But I feel like this shadow in particular is so smooth, so it really helps all of my other shadows to just blend out beautifully. So I do use it from like my lash line all the way up to my brow bone. And then I am using the Sedona Lace 863 brush for my transition shade. So I did dye my hair yesterday. It looks really dark on camera. It looks really dark in real life, but I actually have been using the same hair dye for the past few years, and it's the color that you normally see on my hair in my videos, but it does fade. Hopefully it will fade quickly because I don't think I'm really a fan of this super dark hair. My natural hair color is pretty close to this shade. I have really dark hair, but I have been lightening it over the years, and I kind of like the lighter look because I just dyed my hair like jet black for so many years, so I feel like the hair color that I have going on now, where it's a little bit lighter and has like a reddish tint, has just been a nice change. So I just kind of take this shadow and blend it into the crease and right above the crease, and then sometimes I'll take it down onto the lid. It's just supposed to be a transition shade, so it's not really meant to add like a lot of depth or a lot of definition to the eyes. It just kind of helps the other shadows blend easily. So I am going to be using the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, which is a little bit random because I haven't talked about it or used it in a while, but a lot of the colors that I wanted to use for this eye look were in this palette, so instead of reaching for like a ton of different palettes, I thought I would use this one, but you could totally use whatever you have. So I'm going to take this really pretty cool toned brown shade in the color Tease and blend it into the crease, and then I will come back to this for some other shadows. So we'll start with Tease and just kind of work that into the crease. This color is more cool toned than the transition that I used, but it's just going to help give the eyes a little bit of definition, nothing crazy. And we're going to go in with darker shades for sure, so you won't really even be able to notice this color on its own, but it's just going to help create a little bit more of a transition and just a little bit of depth. I'm just using the Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. I love these Luxie brushes. I usually get mine in my Ipsy bags, and they are amazing. I think they're just such good quality. I'm actually going to use a different one for the lid, and I love using it with my ColourPop shadows. So that's probably enough blending for now. Honestly, I always get a little bit lazy by the time it comes to my left eye because I've already blended so much on my right eye. So the left eye could probably be blended out a little bit more, but we're just gonna kind of go with it. And if it needs to be blended out more later, I'll do it. So next I'm going to go in with the ColourPop eyeshadow in the shade Luckfully, and it's a really beautiful navy blue. It has kind of like a bright royal blue shimmer to it, and it's so beautiful on the eyes. So I am going to take my finger and just apply it to the lid, and then I'm going to go in with the Luxie 211 concealer brush to really just define it and make sure that I get the eyeshadow all over my eye. I do like to use my finger first because I feel like ColourPop shadows in general do apply best with your fingers, but I feel like fingers don't necessarily give the most precise application, so I usually do go in with a brush just to kind of touch up the edges, especially if I want it to look really just crisp and defined. So I hope that you guys have been having a wonderful holiday season. What have you guys been up to? How was your Thanksgiving? Do you have any holiday plans for Christmas? I honestly, I know everybody says this, but I cannot believe that it is already December 8th. Like, Christmas is coming up so quickly. I haven't done really any Christmas shopping. My family doesn't really exchange a whole lot. I do have a lot of nieces and nephews that I like to buy for, but the adults in my family don't really exchange gifts as much, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about the pressure of buying for other people. I wouldn't say that there's necessarily pressure, my family doesn't pressure each other when it comes to gifts, but I feel like you kind of put that pressure on yourself when you're looking for the perfect gift for somebody. Brady and I do exchange gifts some years. I don't know if we're going to this year. We haven't really decided. We're kind of leaning toward no. I think we might go on a trip instead. We really wanted to go to Boston for Christmas, but Brady doesn't have any more vacation time, so we are going to go in the spring, which will be really fun. I feel like this holiday season has been really just relaxing and so much less stressful than other years, and it has been amazing. One of the reasons why I don't want to say I'm not the biggest fan of the holidays because that makes me sound like a horrible person, but I feel like holidays can be so stressful and they can just create so much anxiety and so much stress, and I'm sure a lot of that is self-inflicted, and I'm just putting pressure on myself that doesn't need to be there. But I feel like you feel it even when you go to the mall and you go to the stores and people are just stressed and they're running around and they're not in good moods, and it's just the opposite of what it should be. But I am happy to say this holiday season has just been amazing. It's been so relaxing, so much less stressful than any other year, and I feel like it's just because we really have committed to not doing a whole lot. A lot of times you're running around and you're giving gifts, and this year my family decided we're not doing gifts, and then you're going to parties and you're going to commitments, and we literally say no to everything, which might seem a little bit unsocial, but it has been so nice just kind of relaxing and taking a step back and slowing down and just enjoying this downtime together. I'm not being super precise because I am going to go in and blend a different color into the crease in the outer corner, but I just want to make sure I get this blue color all over the lid. Then I'm going to take the Sedona Lace EB09 brush and the Milani Bella Eyes Gel Powder Eyeshadow in the shade Bella Navy, which is really similar to the color I was wearing all over my eyes. In fact, if you don't have the ColourPop shadow in Luckfully, or you just prefer more of a powder shadow, this one would work really well as well. I just usually prefer the ColourPop formula, so that's why I use that one. But this color is just a little bit darker, so I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges and kind of work this into the crease to make it look a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more blended. But I feel like saying no and taking a step back has kind of been Brady's and my theme for 2016, and 2016 has been such like a weird, it's been like a tough year, it's been a transitioning year, and it's been a good year at the same time, but it has just been a little bit of a tough year. It started off really tough. I feel like we just started off the year, and really like the past few years of our lives have just been overcommitted, and it's really taken a toll. Like we were both working 2 jobs. At multiple points in our lives, we both had more than 2 jobs. We work a lot, and it was fine, and you know, we have our family commitments and our friend commitments, we volunteer at church, we have hobbies, and we have our relationship, and there was like so much going on that we were starting to get, like it was affecting all areas of our lives. And it's really tough because when you kind of lay everything out, it kind of feels like everything is essential, whether it's work or your job or your commitment or your social life or your hobbies, like everything feels essential, but you know, it doesn't look like you can cut anything out. I don't even remember how I got on this tangent, but I guess I'm just gonna go with it because it is something that I'm so passionate about right now, and I feel like it's something that has just changed our whole like lifestyle. So I mean, if overcommitting is something that you guys are struggling with, I totally feel you. I mean, we have been through it, we've been there. It is something that we've struggled with probably for years, I want to say. And I mean, I think it's something that everybody goes through, especially when you're first starting out and you're trying to either, you know, pursue your dream job, or you're trying to just balance your relationship and your social life and like all these things. I think I'm talking too much and not blending enough because this is not looking any more blended. So let me just take this clean brush and blend out this edge. The point of this blue shadow isn't necessarily to add like a ton more product, but more so use it to just blend out the other shadow, like the lid shadow. Okay, I had to blend away some of that shadow. I don't know if I can talk and do makeup at the same time because I'm obviously struggling a little bit. So I'm going to show you guys on this eye. Hopefully I can salvage this one. It just kind of looks like a little bit of a mess right now. But anyways, I take a little bit of this dark blue shadow, just like a tiny amount, and just blend this into the crease. I was blending way too high on the other shadow. Oops, there's a brush hair. But honestly, you just need the smallest amount, and you're just going to want to work really slowly and just kind of blend out the crease so it's not a super harsh edge. So I'm just going to kind of stop there for a second because I am going to go in with this black shadow in the shade Blackout and just use it to lightly darken up the outer corners. So you don't have to do this step. I think it's not so super dark that it looks like you're wearing black shadow, especially if you use like a fluffier brush, but it just helps to add a little bit more drama to the eyes, especially if you want like a cat eye effect. So I'm just going to really lightly take this and focus it on the outer corner and the outer third of my crease, just to help make my eyes look a little bit more defined. So I don't really know where I was going with that whole priority talk. I felt like I was on a roll, and then I had to quit because I had to blend my eyeshadow because it is a get ready with me. But I just want to kind of encourage you guys because 2017 is right around the corner, and I know a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and truthfully I'm not great at keeping my New Year's resolutions, but this has been one that we have really kept and made a priority in our lives in 2016, and that's just prioritizing the important things in life and cutting out all the noise and all of the excess. And if your schedule is crazy and you're overwhelmed and stressed out and anxious and your relationship is taking a toll, or your house is taking a toll, or you know, anything, your health is taking a toll, emotional or physical, you have to make a change, and it feels so good. I declutter my makeup regularly, as you guys see if you watch my videos, and I just kind of decided that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. And it's tough because when it comes to your makeup, I mean, it's so similar. Like, you look at your lip gloss. I know this is such a stupid example, but since we're talking makeup, you look at your lip gloss and you want to keep everything. You feel like if you get rid of it, you might regret it, and you want it all there. But at the same time, some of it has to go. Some of it is old and expired. Some of it might be better off left to somebody else. But in reality, that's what it's like when it comes to life as well. I literally feel so stupid using this example, but it's true. Like, there are so many things in life that you want to hang on to, and so many commitments and so many things that you want to do, but some of them are better left for somebody else. Some of them are old and expired and they just don't really, you know, serve any purpose in your life anymore, and some of them are better and need to be, you know, used more often, or you need to pay more attention to them. But there really is just so much in life that's competing for your time and competing for your attention, and you have to decide what's a priority to you and kind of put everything else on the back burner. And it's tough because a lot of the things that go on the back burner aren't bad things, and there's still things that you would enjoy, or they are still somewhat important. But if you really want to focus your time on the things that matter most to you, sometimes those things have to get pushed aside. I don't know if what I'm saying makes a whole lot of sense to you guys, but I do have to tell you that just cutting back and cutting the non-essential things out of your life and making room for the things that matters is going to help with stress and anxiety. And I talk about that on my channel a lot. You guys, I struggle with stress and I struggle with anxiety, but the second half of the year has been so relieving for me because I really haven't had much anxiety in my life, and I think it's because I've made the decision to consciously focus on the things that really matter to me, and if it doesn't, then I say no, and I don't have to give an excuse and I don't have to apologize because that's what's best for me and my life. And then I'm just going to line my upper lash line using my Physicians Formula eyeliner, which I'll probably attempt to do on camera, but most of it will probably be off camera because I have to get so close to the mirror. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be dramatic because we don't have these toxic priorities or toxic commitments that are sucking the life out of our relationship and our lives, but it really is just those simple day-to-day tasks that take time away from what you could be giving time and attention to otherwise if you prioritized differently. I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and bore you guys and lecture you on priorities. It just kind of spilled out, I guess. When I get talking, I do talk a lot in real life and I talk a lot in my videos. I get that a lot for sure, but I don't usually have the chance to just kind of sit and ramble about personal things with you guys. So apparently I just had a lot to say about that. So I just had to charge my battery. So the only thing I did off camera was apply these lashes. These are from Violet Voss and they are their lashes in the style Striptease. They're some of my favorites because they're not too crazy or too intense, but they still give your eyes a little bit more of a dramatic look. And then I did apply my Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray, and this one is the oil control version. Now that it is winter, my skin hasn't been insanely oily, but I do like to use this before I apply any of my makeup because it helps everything just kind of go on evenly and stay in place. So I'm also going to take my Hourglass primer. I'm almost out. It's so expensive that I've been trying to just use the smallest amount, so I'm just going to take a really small amount and kind of put it in areas where my foundation tends to settle. This primer is amazing. I just did a video on my top 5 primers, so I'll link it below if you guys want to check it out. This one is one of my favorites, so I just apply it in this area around my nose and right around my lips. It's really smooth, so I feel like it works so nicely with the foundation that I'm going to use, and I do have a little bit of a breakout. My skin is not looking the best today, so I'm just going to apply it on my chin area and then a small amount right here between my brows. But that's it. I don't apply it on my entire face because this primer does a pretty good job. Then I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation, and I did just repurchase this. I almost finished my other one, but that one was a little bit too dark for me, so I did get the shade 1.0. This is the second to lightest shade. I was trying to decide if I should get the lightest shade or the second to lightest shade. I hope that this one's not too dark for me because this foundation does oxidize a little bit, and my skin is probably light enough for the lightest shade, but that one had a little bit more of a pink undertone to it, and I just prefer my foundation to have a little bit more of a yellow undertone to it. Even though my skin kind of has a pink undertone, I just prefer more of a yellow foundation, as long as it's not too yellow. This foundation looks a little bit yellow, so I hope it's not too crazy. So I actually just take it and apply it. I work in small areas, so I'll just take it on my finger and apply it to my nose area and then blend it in. I'm just using the e.l.f., I forget what the exact name is. It's their foundation blending brush. It's my favorite. Okay, it looks a little bit light for my skin on camera, but it will oxidize for sure. That's the problem that I have with the other one. It looks nice when I first apply it, but then it oxidizes and gets way too dark, and then my face does not match the rest of my body. I've been using this foundation almost every single time I wear makeup since probably the summertime. It does kind of enhance, I have a little dryness around my nose, and I don't know how it's going to look because my skin did break out, but other than that, I love it. It's so full coverage. It has a really nice matte finish. I do feel like you have to find the right primer to work with this foundation because it is so full coverage. I feel like some primers don't interact well, and this foundation will kind of bunch up on your skin, and honestly, the first few times I tried it, I was using the wrong primers and it did not look good. Once once I found the Scandinavia primer and the Hourglass primer combination, I fell in love. I use it every single day. It just gives you such nice coverage, but it doesn't really feel heavy on the skin, and it leaves you with a really nice matte finish. So even when I don't have a breakout, my skin just isn't super even. I have a lot of freckles, a lot of redness, and I feel like this foundation just really helps even everything out. So I can't get enough of it. So this actually matches my skin perfectly in person. It looks a little bit light on camera, but I'm assuming that it's just going to oxidize a little bit, and then once I have everything else in place, it will match really well. So I'm just going in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla. And again, this one has been my favorite concealer. I use it under the eyes and then right around the nose because I struggle with redness right there. And then just like a small amount between the brows. I'm just going to use the same exact brush. I have two of these, but I can't find the second one. And I'm just going to blend this concealer in. I feel like I like how this looks with a brush more so than with a beauty blender. I go through times when I really like beauty blenders and then I don't really like them. I feel like they just kind of sheer out my foundation and my concealer just a little bit too much. I think I just got foundation on my lash. Then I'm just going to take this small brush and really make sure my concealer is blended in. So I'm just going to go in with the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder and my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to kind of pack this powder right underneath my eye. It just sets your concealer into place, especially if you struggle with creasing, which I do really no matter what concealer I use, although the NARS concealer really doesn't crease on me very much. But just to give it like that extra protection, I like to set it with the powder, and then it also just gives you a really airbrushed effect. So I just kind of place this under my eyes, anywhere where I put the concealer, and I let it set for a few minutes. Then I just take my Real Techniques brush and I just use it to set the rest of my foundation. I was using a different powder, but I really like how the Laura Mercier powder makes my foundation look. It's just translucent, so it doesn't really add any like color, but it does give your skin a really beautiful airbrushed effect. So I just kind of buff it onto my skin, and that's it. I didn't really know where to stop talking there. Then I'm just going to take my e.l.f. powder brush and Benefit's Hoola bronzer and use this to bronze up my skin. I do feel like this bronzer is a little bit too dark for me, so if you use like a bigger fluffy brush, it kind of diffuses the color a little bit and just helps it look a little bit lighter. Sometimes I will go in with a little bit of a smaller brush just to kind of define that area a little bit more. On camera it's looking a little orange. It might be a little orange in real life too, but just not that orange. So I do want to hear from you guys. What kind of videos do you want to see on my channel in 2017? I kind of want to give my channel a little bit of a revamp, not anything too crazy, but I've been getting a few comments lately just saying that my videos are a little bit repetitive. I mean, not tons of comments and not like mean hater comments, just constructive criticism saying my videos are either like a little boring or a little repetitive. And I mean, I totally get it. I mean, I get where people are coming from when they say that, because I do a lot of similar videos, and I think when you look at my channel, like a lot of the videos sound the same. I do a lot of like favorite lipsticks for winter or favorite drugstore products for winter, and I don't do like a whole lot of tutorials, which I've already talked about a lot and stuff like that, but I want to know what you guys want to see. It's hard to know what to film because like a lot of people thought my declutter videos were boring and repetitive, so I stopped filming those for a little while, and then like I stopped filming tutorial videos because nobody would watch them, and so I feel like my videos can get a little repetitive and I'm probably stuck in a little bit of a rut. But when it comes to beauty, like there's only so much you can do. Do you guys know what I mean? I think that I want to start filming more review videos and just doing like full reviews on new products, testing them out, talking to you throughout the day, and just giving my opinions, because I do like filming reviews, and I feel like that way there are always new products, so I can continuously review things for you. But I do want to hear from you guys. I'm always open to suggestions or constructive criticism because I mean, you're the ones that watch my videos, and the reason why I started filming this video today, I mean, I was going to cut out get ready with me's and tutorials because they're not my favorite to film and they don't really get a lot of views, but a ton of you guys wanted to see them. So I figured even if they don't get a lot of views and they're still one of my like least viewed videos, and you know, only a handful of you guys watch it, then that's okay, because not every video has to have tons of views. I want to film some videos for you guys that you want to see and film some videos that I like filming. But all of that being said, I really would appreciate it so much if you guys would leave me a comment below just letting me know what videos you want to see on my channel, which videos are your favorite and which videos are your least favorite. I don't know what my favorite beauty videos to watch are. I do really like watching declutters. There's something really satisfying about declutter videos. I watch tutorials on occasion, not necessarily to recreate anybody's look, just to kind of watch their technique. I think that's really fun. I do really like chatty videos because I like to get to know the person who's filming, and a lot of you guys have asked me to do more personal videos, whether it is a Q&A or a vlog, and I don't know, I feel like over the years I haven't done a whole lot of like personal videos. Sometimes it's hard to film personal videos because it is a beauty channel, so it's kind of hard to fit them in, but I do think that like a get ready with me is an easy way for me to kind of chat with you guys on a more personal level. Do you ever like start doing your makeup and then halfway through you're like, I just don't feel like doing this anymore? That happens to me all the time, and it's usually around the time when I get to my eyebrows. So sometimes they're good, sometimes they look rough. To be honest, I think I blended the dark shadow up way too high. I would like this area to be a little bit lighter, but it's kind of too late for that. So it's a little bit of a fail. So I'm just going to go back in with that Milani shadow that I used as a base, and I'm just going to apply this under my brow bone just to kind of brighten the area up a little bit. Before I blend away all the excess powder, I'm just going to go in with Corduroy from the Lorac Pro Matte Palette, which is just a dark brown, and blend this on my lower lash line. I would go in with the blue. Like typically I would use a color that I used up top, but I just feel like that's a little bit too much blue for me, and I just want more of like a brown shadow. You could go in with blue if you're looking for more of like a completely blue look, but I am going to place a blue eyeliner on my waterline, so that will tie it together a little bit more. So I'm just going to brush away any excess powder. I like to leave it on there for quite a while, and I also like it because it catches any fallout from my eyebrows or my eyeshadow. So I just put a little bit of foundation on that freckle on my nose. I just like to cover it up because it's in the middle of my face. And then I'm just going to let that dry for a second. I'm going to take a blue pencil liner. This one is from Tarte. I got it from a holiday kit a long time ago, but it just kind of matches the eyeshadow on my eyes. And I'm just going to line my waterline. The Essence Lash Princess Mascara is my absolute favorite mascara of all time, really. So I'm just using this to apply a little bit on my lower lashes, and then I will apply blush and lipstick and I'll be done. This is the Milani blush in the shade Romantic Rose. It's just a beautiful matte pink, and it's a little bit more cool toned, so I feel like it just complements the eyes really nicely. And then for lips, I'm just using the ColourPop Lippy Pencil and Lippy Stick in the shade Aquarius. This has been one of my favorite go-to nudes lately. I feel like it's a little bit cool toned and it has like just the right amount of pink to it. I almost forgot my highlight, so I'm going to use the shade Booty Call from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette and just use this to highlight my inner corners. I'm not going to do a face highlight because I kind of really want like a matte look, but I love a really bright inner corner highlight. So that is the final look. Just pretend that this eye is a little bit more blended, but other than that, thank you guys so much for getting ready with me. I did have a lot of fun filming this video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me comments below because my favorite part is chatting with you guys in the comments, so I definitely will read all of your comments and respond back as much as possible. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you do like these videos, please let me know, give it a thumbs up, or let me know in the comments, and we'll definitely continue to film them for you guys. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Bye.